This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center for this presentation of Boys State High School basketball on News Channel Nebraska. I'm Michael Shively, joined by Alex Loroff. The third member of our team this morning is Chris Williams, and we are thrilled to be here at the Devaney Center for our first presentation of Boys State basketball quarterfinals live on television on NCN. We have a full slate ready for you this morning into the afternoon and evening. All 6 games from the Devaney Center coming to you live on NCN. Let's talk about our first game. We have a fun matchup in Class C1, the number 3 and 6 seeds going at it. It's Auburn and Grand Island Central Catholic. Alex, each of these teams has a star guard. Who are a couple of the key players we're looking for today?
Well, Michael, the key players to watch for both of these teams here today. First off, for the Crusaders of Grand Island Central Catholic, it's the senior Jack Gehring, who has been such a dynamic player during his 4 years as a starter for the Crusaders, averaging 15 points per game, the team leader in assists. He has just grown year after year throughout his time here at Grand Island Central Catholic. The Crusaders need him to step up here today in his final season, in his final state tournament appearance, and they want to be successful against the Auburn Bulldogs here today. And speaking of those Auburn Bulldogs, first time that they have advanced to state since 1985, and a team that has no seniors on their squad, Michael. It's so impressive, and one of the most impressive players, the sophomore Cam Binder, averaging 20 points per game this year for Auburn. He has been such a fun player to watch this season for the Auburn fans, and for this Auburn team, they need Binder to get going early and often. He cannot shrink under the bright lights of the state tournament despite only being a sophomore. It'll be Binder that needs to get the ball rolling early on here today for the Bulldogs.
A pair of dynamic scoring guards with Gehring and Binder. For more on this game, let's head down to our sideline reporter, Chris Williams.
Yeah, guys, I'm courtside. The boys are huddling up right now as they get ready to start off this year's state basketball tournament. I was able to catch up with both head coaches during warm-ups. We'll start with GICC head coach Tino Martinez. Now, they're coming off a game against Chase County in the district final where they held Chase County to 15 first-half points. I asked how he's going to do that again, and he said, well, we got to come out focused, and having as much experience as they have on their roster is going to help them get there. They have a pair of 4-year starters in the lineup. He said they led the team all year. They're going to continue to do it now. As for Auburn, I talked to head coach Jim Weeks about a number of storylines, and he was not interested in talking about those. And they're about to do the national anthem right now, so we're going to toss to a quick break, and then we'll be right back ready for tip-off.
Taking control of your grain marketing means having enough storage on your farm to maximize profits. Have you considered adding storage to your operation? Talk to the pros at D&K Agri-Sales, your Sukup dealer in Plymouth, about the options you have to make your grain handling more effective and more profitable. If grain storage or grain handling is a problem, D&K Agri-Sales is the solution. Bins, legs, towers, conveyors, elevators, dryers, augers, parts, and maintenance. Call D&K Agri-Sales, your Sukup dealer, for your grain marketing solutions today. Online at dnkagrisales.com.
Our goal here at Faith Regional is to be the regional referral center, and in fact only 25% of the patients that we see in our clinic in gastroenterology, they are coming from Norfolk, with the other 75% of patients, they are coming from the surrounding area. So this is our mission, is to be the referral center for Northeast Nebraska. I totally agree that this is time for us to expand to a medical offices building that is convenient for patients, where they will be able to have all subspecialties available for them in the same building. At the same time, we will be able to have the surgery center there and lab, so it will be very convenient for patients to have everything done in the same building, and I do think their practice will just get busier. Strong faith, healthy future.
The cattle business, the cattle industry, is the largest industry in the state of Nebraska. The University of Nebraska system feeds on that, both through their development of students, development of personnel that end up, moving into this industry, becoming a major player in it, and also the economic impact that that brings and the research that these institutions do to support it. You just don't have one segment without all the rest of it, and the University of Nebraska is at the central portion of that.
We continue to get ready for tip-off of the first game of the 2019 NSAA Boys State Championships. Michael Shively and Alex Loroff with you, Chris Williams sidelines. And now it's time for our 5 Points of Impact, brought to you by 5 Points Bank. Proud to support area coaches and athletes. 5 Points Bank, the better bank. GICC and Auburn. GIC number 6 seed and Auburn the 3rd seed. Let's begin with the Crusaders. They need to put extra effort in on defense. Looking at what this team's done lately, their 6-game winning streak, their defense has been the key to that, allowing only 41.5 points per game. Before that, over 50 points per game. That's an improvement of 9 points per game defensively. Then let Gehring run free. I think that's safe to say.
Absolutely, Mike. We talked about it in our last segment, just how Gehring has been so dynamic all season long. 15 points per game, a 4-year starter, has developed year over year. They need him to have a bigger game than he did last year, only 3 points in last year's quarterfinal loss to Lincoln Christian.
On the Auburn side of things, feed the beast down low. And when I'm talking about the beast, I'm talking about Josh Lambert.
Josh Lambert, the 6'7" junior center, 14 points per game, just about 9 boards per contest as well. It's not only Cam Binder, but Lambert down low in the post. They need to get him going early.
For Auburn, they want to contest 3-pointers because if GICC, Gehring especially, gets going, watch out, they can score in a hurry. For each team, avoid foul trouble, and that's a good lesson in general for this whole tournament.
Absolutely, especially for those top players we have been talking about, Michael. They need to stay on the court as much as possible to have the best chance for their respective teams to win, so they need to avoid those foul troubles and really play a clean game if either team wants to be successful.
Now let's take a look at your starting lineups. GICC number 6 and Auburn number 3 as we get ready for tip-off in the Class C1 morning game. Let's start with the Auburn Bulldogs. Cam Binder getting the start. He's a 6-foot sophomore guard, scoring over 20 points per game. CJ Hughes, number 3 in the starting lineup. So is Brody Darnell. Daniel Frary also in the starting lineup. And Lambert, the 6-foot 7-inch junior, rounds out the lineup for the Auburn Bulldogs. Entering at 21-3, led by head coach Jim Weeks. On the Crusader side of things, Gehring, a 6-foot senior, leads the team in scoring, averaging over 15 per contest. Russ Martinez also in the starting lineup, averaging 7.5 points per game. Kobe Bales, a 6'1" sophomore, will begin the game. So will the freshman Isaac Herbeck and the senior Jacob Herbeck, a 6'6" senior center. So those are the starting lineups. The Crusaders open in the all-white unis and Auburn in the red, and we're ready for Boys State basketball.
Should be a great game today, Michael. Again, a team in Auburn who has not been here since 1985 against a Grand Island Central Catholic team trying to get past the first round where they were not able to last season.
Right now, it's time to enjoy the game thanks to United Healthcare. Tip-off controlled by the Crusaders, led by 6th-year head coach Tino Martinez, making their second straight trip to the state tournament. There's the freshman Herbeck to his brother, the senior, Jacob Herbeck.
Good ball movement here early on by GICC, trying to work around the zone defense of Auburn here in the early going. More of a 2-3 zone look by the Bulldogs here.
Inside they go, working against that senior, the 6'7" Lambert. Check that, the junior Lambert. He affected that shot and got the rebound. Now the Bulldogs have the first chance for points. Watch out for Cam Binder, folks. Number 2 in red, the star sophomore, a dynamic scorer, coming off a 40-point performance in the district final win against Fort Calhoun. Open look for Hughes from 3. He's strong on it. Scrap for the rebounds and a tie-up.
Good job there by Daniel Frary pursuing the loose ball there after Lambert sort of jumped a little early when he was going for the offensive board. But Frary able to come down with the loose ball, force the jump, and give another offensive possession to the Bulldogs.
They work it right to Binder for three, a little off target from the corner, and a strong board by Kobe Bales. Leads to the lead out for GICC. That man-to-man defense of Auburn getting back in time to affect the shot, but the putback right there. Kobe Bales, very strong down low.
Fantastic job there by the sophomore Cody Bales, working against the big defense of Josh Lambert. Bales able to get it to go, one of the youngest starters on this GICC team, and playing very well in the early goings of this opening quarter, getting the Crusaders on the board initially.
Crossover, a wild spinning jumper isn't there for the Bulldogs, but the Crusaders throw it away on the fast break.
First turnover on the day for the Crusaders, who looking to push the tempo just a little bit, trying to get out in transition, those easy fast break points, but just an errant pass as we see it here on the replay. A little bit too much there from Russell Martinez sailing into the Auburn bench.
Martinez, the sophomore, he did play in last season's game in the state tournament, scored 8 points and a loss against Lincoln Christian. The battle of the Crusaders in that one last year. Auburn searching for their first points, a team that puts up 58 per game. Here's Binder, the leading scorer. His teardrop doesn't fall, and again with the defensive rebound, GICC.
And you can just see the quickness of Cam Binder there, just a little short on the shot attempt, but he was able to attack the basket so fast and get around that defense in almost a blink of an eye.
Kobe Bales, the lone player with points so far. Rebound for Herbeck. Buddy miscommunicated with the teammate, and it falls into the hands of Binder, who's running against the whole Crusaders team and draws a foul. We're seeing aggression early from the leading scorer for Auburn.
Yes, Cam Binder in attack mode the entire way down the court. Great down court vision as well from the sophomore as he was able to weave his way through traffic, get to the basket, and draw the contact. Now a chance for Binder to not only put the Bulldogs on the board, but get himself in the score sheet.
And he hits the first, no surprise there for Cam Binder. Here's his attack going against Martinez and a host of white jerseys. Gets the foul against Herbeck. Well, Binder at the free throw line, that's where he scored many of his 40 points last game as he goes 1 for 2, but Binder 16 of 18 from the charity stripe against Fort Calhoun a couple weeks ago.
And that's what you want to see from your star player, getting those opportunities to go from the free throw line.
Herbeck can't finish, but the offensive rebound stays with GICC and Bales. Martinez to the rack, and it goes. An athletic move for Russ Martinez, and the sophomore makes the lead 3 for GICC.
Great jump stop there by Martinez, again able to get around Jack Lambert as well as Calvin Hughes. Did a great job of finishing off the glass as well.
There's Lambert, his first touchdown low, immediately double teamed, works through the double team for the basket and draws the foul.
The battle of the bigs down low as we get another look at the replay, the 6'7" Lambert against the 6'6" Herbeck. Great move by Lambert, able to get around Jacob Herbeck, getting it to go with the foul. And that's not what GICC wants to see, is Josh Lambert start to fire up from the post. We talked about it in the pregame, Michael, that Auburn needs to feed the beast. First time we've seen it so far, and it was successful for the Bulldogs.
Averages 15 points to pair with 9 rebounds per game, averaging nearly a double-double. You're going to be okay with that if you're Coach Jim Weeks.
Absolutely, especially with Lambert being one of your top leaders on this team as far as age as well. We talked about it. No seniors on this team, so it's the juniors that kind of take over that senior leadership role.
Gehring misses. Lambert's there to pick up the brick, and Auburn a chance for the lead. The Bulldogs, number 3 in Class C1, making their 23rd trip to the state tournament, but their first trip in 34 years. Them and Blue Hill, the longest droughts of any team in the tournament this season.
And it's been so impressive when you look at head coach Jim Weeks in his 3rd season with this Bulldog squad, the improvement year over year, now leading Auburn to a school record in wins, their first state tournament in over 30 years.
And a beautiful entry pass. Daniel Frary finds Lambert posting up, and Lambert has 4 of his team's 5. The Bulldogs have their first lead.
You said it perfectly there, Michael. Beautiful entry pass inside to Lambert, who had the positioning, the turnaround, and got the shot to go. Lambert now starting to heat up from the post for Auburn.
Wide open at the free throw line. Eli Perney wanted nothing to do with it. Gehring can't hit the three. It went over the backboard. So the ball goes over to Auburn.
Pretty quiet here in the early goings for Jack Gehring. Talked about the fact that in that opening round loss to Lincoln Christian last season, only 3 points from, at the time, the junior Gehring in that game. He's the guy that really the offense runs through for the Crusaders, and he's been quiet here thus far in the opening quarter.
20 games with double-figure points for Gehring. Binder can't find any room that time. I believe Perney in there to reject that shot. Crusaders want to move quickly, and they draw a foul. There's Gehring trying to go to work.
And that's what Gehring needs to do to get himself fired up. Start attacking the basket, start trying to draw contact, start trying to get some of those Auburn bigs into foul trouble. Gehring doing a great job on that last play there.
Whistle goes against C.J. Hughes, the 6-foot junior. Gehring into the lane once more. The hesitation crossover and off of the window. Impressive effort by Gehring. And the lead flip-flops back to the Crusaders.
Gehring attacking right at the young freshman Brett Baltonsberger into the game for the first time for Auburn. And Gehring taking the young freshman to school, going right around for the bucket.
There's a double team before the ball even got down there, and it works out. A jump ball forced, and it's turned over to GICC. They were trying to deny the entry pass to Lambert. It got in there, but then the double team swipes it away.
And that's what GICC needs to do. Is you take a look here on the replay. Lambert trying to work against that double team. Great defensive positioning right in front by Elijah Perney, not allowing Lambert to get a good look at the basket, forcing the jump ball call and giving the Crusaders the offensive opportunity.
Nice tussle in the early part of this game between these two C1 teams. Offensive rebound. Brody Darnell tries to dish to a cutting Frary, but a good deflection by GICC ends that fast break attempt. It'll be a half-court offensive set for the Bulldogs.
Get a look at the speed of Brody Darnell as he was looking to get up court in a hurry, but Kobe Bales getting into the passing lane, staying aggressive, just knocking that one out of bounds. Great job there by Bales.
Bales with some nice hustle plays early in this game. Another double team, the kick out, ball rotation. Frary gets it to fall. Daniel Frary, a 6'4" sophomore, puts up 6 per game and had a nice turnaround.
Fantastic job there by the sophomore Frary, working against the defense, realizing he didn't have a good look. Turnaround jumper goes.
Goes for Gehring, too. Free throw line pull-up. Jack Gehring up to 4 points. Starting to settle in a little bit are each of these teams. Just over 6.5 minutes into the game. Morning game, the crowd a little slow arriving. Frary had his pass batted free. Now gets it back on the wing.
And again, they're looking down low for Lambert the whole way, but he's being double-teamed consistently.
It doesn't take long to pull the trigger if you're Cam Binder. He wanted 3, he got 3.
And that's what you need to see if you're Auburn, with Lambert being indisposed down low. Binder with the open look, pulled the trigger, knocked down the triple to get Auburn on top by 2.
What a quick release on that shot. A foul on Frary. Well, Alex, credit to all the fans that made it here, and full stands on each side on the sections right next to the court. Really impressive given 4.5 inches of snow here in Lincoln. Lincoln Public Schools is out today. Maybe we'll see some of those high schoolers out here at the arenas, but lots of snow to trek through to get to the arena.
Absolutely. The driving conditions not the greatest out around the Devaney Sports Center here today, so if you're planning on coming out, you're watching our broadcast, make sure you drive safe, you pay attention to 511, all the sort of information you need.
To the hoop. The layup, no good for Darnell after the GICC turnover. That's our first bounce off of the head of the tournament. Congratulations, Russ Martinez. Our first head ball.
So a bit of good fortune there for Auburn after Darnell maybe trying to go for a little bit of showtime with the take to the basket. Couldn't get it to go. GICC off that miss was trying to push the pace again. Lost the ball on the far side of the court. Third turnover of this quarter for the Crusaders. Auburn now with a chance to add on to this lead as we draw quickly to the end of this opening quarter.
Strong pass, and that double team is ruthless. It prevents Lambert the first time and the second, but they'll get a third try. Binder picks up the miss. And Auburn can't play for the final shot. That's what Coach Weeks is signaling from the bench. See if we get Binder going to the hoop or if he wants a three.
Russell Martinez one-on-one with Binder here as time is winding down in the opening quarter.
Takes it to the hoop. The floater rattles in. Cam Binder with 6 points in the first quarter, and the Auburn Bulldogs, in their first trip to the state tournament since 1985, own a 12-8 lead on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard as we head towards the second quarter.
At Columbus Motor Company, they're proud to be the first car dealer to bring the best price philosophy to Columbus. Columbus Motor Company has always believed that when buying a new vehicle, the customer shopping experience should come first. No hype, no gimmicks, just consistent quality service every time you shop. And don't forget, Columbus Motor Company is the only dealership that offers a 5-day, 30-day policy. Stop by for the spring sales event going on now, or shop online at columbusmotorcompany.com. Columbus Motor Company, one low price, plain and simple, always.
This is my daughter Molly, and we were told she would likely never eat, walk, or talk. She is doing more than we ever could have imagined, and it's all due to the special equipment that was donated by the Columbus Community Hospital Foundation.
If you can enhance somebody else's life with your donation, it's well worth it.
A gift to the foundation is truly a gift to your community.
I can't thank the foundation and donors enough. They're changing lives.
Support the Columbus Community Hospital Foundation. Donate today.
The Simulation in Motion Nebraska program is just one way that UNMC improves the lives of individuals in all Nebraska communities. Learn about the Sim Nebraska mobile education labs and other ways that UNMC impacts the state's health at unmc.edu/serving Nebraska. 4-point lead on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard for Auburn. They have the basketball to open the second quarter. What a dish! And the reverse layup for a finish. Daniel Frary, but his teammate's the one that set him up.
Great backdoor cut there by Frary. CJ Hughes with the vision, getting it to Frary. Goes up and under the hoop, gets it to go. Fantastic job offensively by the Bulldogs as they're starting now to find their stride after a bit of a slow start early in that first quarter. Auburn starting to feel it, a team that scores 58 points per game.
14-8 on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, about 45 seconds into the second quarter. Trying to go to work, but taking an extra step. Kobe Bales, turnover number 4 on the Crusaders. This is the biggest lead of the game for either team.
And Kobe Bales, and a great idea, trying to work it down low, which we've seen both teams try to do here today, but Bales just shuffling his feet a little bit too much. We've talked about the hustle plays Bales has made today, but a bit of a mental miscue there by the sophomore Bales.
Binder had a basket before the end of the quarter. Can't find any room against Martinez that time.
What defense down low now. Jacob Herbeck up against Josh Lambert, not allowing Lambert to get any sort of clean look at a pass from the outside.
Three-pointer, short. CJ Hughes couldn't connect. GICC tries to push the tempo again. They've had a big effort at doing that. Nothing until now from the fast break. This time it's Gehring who hits the triple, and it leads to a timeout by Auburn. We'll take a short break and be back after this on News Channel Nebraska.
Hi there, how can we help you?
I was wondering, if my check engine light's on, what is that?
Well, let's find out.
A three-pointer for Jack Gehring, and Grand Island Central Catholic back to a one-possession game.
And Michael, you mentioned it just before that shot, how GICC again nearly lost the ball on the fast break. They've had issues trying to get out in transition and pushing the pace, but Gehring able to recover, had the space that he needed to pull the trigger on that three, knocking it down as he cuts the lead to 3 for the Auburn Bulldogs. Crusaders trying to battle their way back up from behind.
Looking for some room, Frary. No chance to enter it into Lambert. The double team comes immediately, but there's the dish off, and Frary the recipient. He has 6 points in the early part of this first half.
What a heads-up play there by Lambert, finding Frary on the pass behind his back after the double team. Frary able to finish.
Attacking on the other side, it's Gehring. And it goes against Brody Darnell, his first foul, just the team's third for Auburn. And at the free throw line, Gehring is true. He's up to 8 points, a 75% free throw shooter on the season. If he makes this next one, that's 110 makes at the charity stripe this year. That's a good way to make a living.
Absolutely. We talked about it with Binder. Gehring the same way does a very good job getting his opportunities to count from the free throw line and did so there.
The offense is finding some traction early in the second quarter. Successfully getting the ball down to Lambert again. Takes an extra step, and this is something we've seen every possession, Alex. It seems to be the key point of the defense for Coach Tino Martinez is double every time they even look at Lambert.
Absolutely. Jacob Herbeck initially with the defense on Josh Lambert, but then as soon as he got the ball, the help coming over from Kobe Bales for that double team, not allowing Lambert to find any sort of room, get comfortable whatsoever in the post. They've done a great job, the Crusaders have, of effectively neutralizing Lambert thus far in this first half.
But Jacob Herbeck lowers the shoulder, bowls over Lambert, and a charge whistle. That's foul number 2 on Herbeck.
A little bit too aggressive there by the senior Herbeck, trying to battle down low. The battle of the bigs with Lambert, as you'll see it here on the replay. Just burying that left shoulder right into the chest of Lambert, drawing the offensive contact. Good job by Lambert taking that foul.
I liked what Coach Jim Weeks said about Lambert in our questionnaire sheet. He goes, he's no wimp down there. He's a strong kid. 6'7" junior. Packed some muscle on that frame, absorbed the contact, but smart to fall down to ensure that a whistle was blown.
And you have to be a tough kid when you're playing down low like he is. You're battling out with fellow 6'6", 6'7" guys game after game, and he has so far here today against the big man Jacob Herbeck for GICC.
The Crusaders, Coach Martinez saying their strength is their defense. That's what they pride themselves on. Their defense has been much better in their 6-game win streak. Last touch by the Crusaders, the ball stays with the Dogs. Again, they were looking down to Lambert, but fronting and posting up behind him. That defense is not allowing an easy pass to the big man.
But credit to Auburn that with Lambert being taken away, they have been able to hit their shots when they've had them open, and there's been some great attacks as well from players such as Brody Darnell and Frary as well.
Three-pointer up and three-pointer short for Brody Darnell. Daniel Frary, a player that stepped up for the Dogs. It's been Gehring, and the Jack Gehring show continues for GICC. He has 11 of his team's 15 and cuts it to a 1-point game.
Which is crazy to think after he was scoreless through the first half of that first quarter. He is really starting to heat up that short drive, the pull-up jumper in the lane, knocking it down. Just such a beautiful jump shot from Jack Gehring there.
Hughes drives the left side. Binder shadowed everywhere by Russ Martinez. Still gets to the hoop. Didn't quite have the right spin on it for the basket, but he earns a trip to the line.
And again, that's what you want to see if you are Coach Jim Weeks. You want to see your guards, your best players attacking the hoop as often as they can, going right at Elijah Perney there and drawing the foul, does Cam Binder.
Perney, one of the most active bench players for GICC, will be playing crucial minutes, maybe the rest of this half, with Herbeck on the bench with 2 fouls. Binder 2 for 4 at the line so far this game.
And another rebound tracked down by Bales. That's 5 now in this first half. Talked about the hustle stats. Bales has been all over the court offensively and defensively here in this first half.
Jack Gehring, unstoppable in the second quarter. Takes it right to the basket and finishes with the left.
No fear by Gehring, going right at the 6'7" Josh Lambert, and still able to get around the big man, putting it up and in to tie this one up for the Crusaders.
Auburn led by as much as 6 points earlier this quarter. That lead has fallen away, and a turnover by the Bulldogs. The Crusaders in the open court. Martinez with the lay-in and the lead back to Grand Island Central Catholic.
And that transition bucket really starting from number 10, Peyton Court, getting his hand in on C.J. Hughes, forcing the ball out. The recovery there by Perney. Up court it goes. The ball movement right to Martinez, who finishes for the Crusaders. The GICC faithful now starting to fire up here at the Devaney Sports Center.
White and blue on their feet in the student section. Does Auburn have a response? They're looking for Binder off of a screen. Martinez fights through it. Stripped from Lambert. But sneaking behind the defense, the athletic Darnell didn't need his feet on the ground for that one. Caught him right in the air and throws it off the glass and down.
Fantastic job by the sophomore Darnell. The concentration to catch the ball midair, put it right up and get it to go off the glass. That's incredibly tough to do no matter how easy Darnell just made that look, folks. And he ties this one up for the Bulldogs. Great back and forth battle now that we're seeing between these teams.
And Gehring into the lane, can't get that one to fall. I will add, Alex, that I don't have the hang time necessary to do what we just saw Darnell do last possession.
I'm in the same boat, Michael, unfortunately.
And that's why we're up in the booth. We're happy to be here. A fun game to kick off our coverage today. 6 games on NCN. This is the first. Entry pass. Lambert, blocked from behind, a late whistle. Goes against Perney. Now Herbeck and Perney, the 2 bigs for the Crusaders, each have 2 fouls.
You'll see it here on the replay. The pass a little deep there by Frary to Lambert. Had to battle his way back, but did a great job drawing that contact. And we'll keep an eye on that. We talked about avoiding the foul trouble, Michael. Now you said it, the 2 bigs for GICC starting to pick up a couple of fouls here as we look towards the end of the first half.
Struggles at the free throw line for Auburn. We've seen 2 misses from Binder and now 2 misses from Lambert. Keeps the game tied up. 4 points in the first half for Josh Lambert. 14.7 per game for the star junior. Gets 1 out of 2 from the line that time around.
And again, that's such a credit to the GICC defense, the fact that Lambert only has 5 points, 4 rebounds for the junior. He has been held largely in check so far. Fantastic defensive job by the Crusaders on Lambert.
Gehring, hard to the left, draws a foul. Jack Gehring has been fearless this quarter. You think of Gehring maybe first as a 3-point shooter, but it's been the dribble drive that's been leading to his success this first half.
He was able to get the step around Brody Darnell, who initially was in good defensive positioning, but caught on the back foot a little bit as soon as Gehring started to make his move around Darnell, getting to the basket, drawing that foul. And now you're seeing the foul start to mount up for both teams a little bit here as Gehring has the opportunity to tie this one up.
The freshman Ryan Binder checking in for the Bulldogs. 5'11" junior, or rather freshman guard. 0 for 2 at the line there for Gehring, so the struggles at the free throw line go both ways. Keeps it a 1-point game. Cam Binder, no hope on that drive. Bales pulls it back. Gehring for 3. Strong. Frary picks up the miss.
Auburn faithful wanted to travel there. Instead, it was a 3 by Gehring. Could not connect. Auburn, bit of a break there. The fact that Gehring had a great look at that 3, just couldn't knock it down. Now with an opportunity to really take their time, with time winding down here in the second quarter. Binder trying to make something happen.
Drawing the defense out. Calling off the help from Lambert, so he gets it 1-on-1. Bulldogs could play for the final shot. And after stalling for 20 seconds, it appears as if they will.
Russ Martinez, such a strong defender. This one-on-one battle with Cam Binder, not allowing any room for Binder to work with.
Binder scored just ticks before the end of this first quarter. Will he have it again this quarter? Needs to go in a hurry. Binder from the volleyball line, short. Now the half-court heave, too much from Gehring. And just 1 point separating the Bulldogs and the Crusaders on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Let's head to the halftime break. Your halftime show coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
Brandon Axbit having the great opportunity to sit down with University of Nebraska President Hank Bounds. And President Bounds just had the university budget hearing earlier this week. A lot at stake. For those who weren't aware, can you recap what all was discussed on Monday and where things stand?
Sure, Brandon. Thanks for the opportunity to be here with you. We did have the opportunity earlier this week, as you mentioned, to meet with the Appropriations Committee of the Nebraska Legislature and talk about the resources that the university needs to be able to meet the needs of the state. And when I talk about meeting the needs of the state, I really am talking about how we grow our economy, how we meet the workforce needs of Nebraska businesses, how we continue to be one of the most affordable and high quality institutions in the country. Our costs go up every year, and we recognize that legislators are struggling with fiscal stress. But we think that there's no better investment in all of Nebraska than investing in Nebraska, the 52,000 students that we represent, because this really is about the future of our state.
And you talk about the message that you brought to the table, but you weren't the only one who carried that same message. So first off, who are those other people carrying the message, and what does that mean that there were other Nebraskans behind it?
Well, we had faculty members, we had representatives from the ag community, we had representatives from the medical community, but the individuals who testified that I thought were the absolute stars of the show were our 4 student regents. And so we have a student regent that sits on the board of regents. They are basically the student body president from each of our campuses, and they were absolutely brilliant. They brought a perspective that I don't have, that faculty members don't have. They're viewing the quality of their education through a specific lens, and they also talked about how difficult it is to pay tuition, to pay the fees, to pay room and board today. And we don't think about those things the way that young people do. And so they were brilliant, and I was so proud of them.
And you mentioned about the affordability of tuition and part of that message that those students brought. What is the university's thinking in how to keep tuition in higher education affordable?
Well, you know, I'm one of those people that never wants to raise tuition a penny, because every penny that we raise in tuition means that students, maybe it extends the time to degree because they have to, maybe they have to stop out and go to work and raise money so that they can pay for tuition. We recognize that college is expensive, but we also recognize that it is the best investment that a young person can make into their future. And so we're doing everything that we can to control cost. And while we hope that we don't have to raise tuition, we recognize that it may be possible. We're not to that point yet, but we do everything we can to keep from raising tuition.
And lastly, you mentioned the future, and as you look down the road 10, 20, 30 years, where are your priorities? Where are University Chancellor and Board of Regents in terms of where you want the university to be down the line?
Well, we need to be a bigger institution. We need to grow our enrollment. We need to be an institution that is graduating students faster. We need to be doing more research that matters to Nebraskans, that matters to all of us across the United States. We need to be doing more and better service out in all of our communities. I think that's what Nebraskans expect from us, and we need to do all of that at the same time that we remain one of the most affordable and accessible universities in the country.
Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Michael Shively and Alex Loroff with you. Chris Williams patrolling the sidelines. The score at halftime, Auburn 20, GICC 19 on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. Well, right now, let's tell you about our friends at the Northeast Center for Enterprise, specializing in customized training for businesses. Northeast Center for Enterprise, bringing you customized business solutions. Well, checking out some of the happenings here at halftime for GICC, it's been all Jack Gehring. He has 13 of his team's 19 points. Do they need to get a second or a third score going in the second half, Alex?
Absolutely, Michael. We expected Jack Gehring to come out and be the focal point of the offense, be that spark to get GICC going. But when you look at some of the other players on this team, the big man down low, Jacob Herbeck, no points in that first half. Guys like Kobe Bales, who really, he had a great half defensively and getting a lot of the hustle plays to help defense that he had against Josh Lambert. But Bales has really not gotten going offensively to this point for the Crusaders. They need at least one, but probably two of those players, whoever it may be, to step up on offense in the second half to try and combat this Auburn squad who were knocking down their shots in the first half despite Lambert being neutralized. They had a very strong first half, did the Bulldogs.
As far as Auburn scoring is concerned, Cam Binder with 7, but they've had some backups scoring. 6 from Daniel Frary, who was really impressive. Lambert held the 5. Brody Darnell with a couple points. It's been a little bit more balanced for the Bulldogs, but I'm guessing they'll want Binder to score a bit more in the second half.
Absolutely, and you saw a great take there from Binders. We look at some of those first half replays. I think Coach Weeks is happy with the fact that it's been a very balanced offensive attack for the Bulldogs to this point. But when you have a player like Binder, who is a 20-point-per-game scorer, to be held to only 7, still a strong first half, but you want to see a little bit more from Binder. You want to see him start to take the game over like Jack Gehring did for the Crusaders, so expect a lot more of Binder attacking for the Bulldogs in that second half.
Defensively, or rather rebounding-wise, Lambert leading the Bulldogs with 4 and Bales with 5 for the Crusaders. Checking out each of these teams, only separated by 1 point. Teams that are playing good basketball this time of year. Auburn only 3 losses in this season, coming 2 of them in overtime. The other one against BRLD, who might be the best team in Class C2. Playing good basketball lately, dominated Fort Calhoun 47-36. Or check that, they dominated them by over 20 points in that district final. GICC winners of 6 straight. Let's take a peek at how each of these teams got to Lincoln right after we tell you about our friends at Wayne State College. Wayne State College, proud sponsors of high school hoops on News Channel Nebraska, helping make our presentation of high school sports possible. We're bringing you 6 games from the Devaney Center today and 6 games from Pinnacle Bank Arena tomorrow. Let's check out how the Crusaders made their trip to the state tournament down a snowy I-80 today. Number 6 seed, 109 miles through an Interstate 80 that was shut down for a bit this morning. They enter at 18-7, but that's a record against a really good schedule.
Absolutely a tough stretch in the middle of the year for the Crusaders after they began 8-1, only 4-6 in their first 10 games of 2019, but have really picked things up in the last month or so. 6 straight wins for the Crusaders, and that 22-point victory in the district final over Chase County. Head coach Tino Martinez said that was our most complete game of the season, and that's what you want to see from your team at this point of the year, to be playing that complete basketball like they did against the Longhorns.
6th season at the helm for the Crusaders. Martinez has been with the program since 2003 as an assistant, replaced former head coach Bill Gavers, who served 22 years as head coach at GICC, accomplished over 420 wins before he left for Hastings College, where he still is the head coach. Now let's take a look at Auburn's trip to the state tournament from Southeast Nebraska. They get to stay in Southeast Nebraska, just under 70 miles to the capital city. For the Bulldogs, a trip they have not made since 1985. And before that, it had been since 1968. They've won one game at the state tournament in the last 51 years. This has to be refreshing for the Bulldogs fans to get to travel back to the state capital.
Absolutely, especially for Coach Weeks. We talked about him a little bit, but the fact that he coached for 24 years at Beatrice before coming here to Auburn, and you've seen the improvement. 13 wins for Auburn in his first season, a loss by 2 in sub-districts. 16 wins his second season, an overtime loss in the district final. Now 21 wins in season number 3, and a trip to the state tournament with 2 of his sons on his coaching staff as well. Coach Weeks has really started to build up this program, and with a team like this that, again, has no seniors, they're all going to be back next year. This is huge for Auburn to get this experience here today, but it's one thing to get the experience, it's another one to get the win, and they have work to do in that second half to accomplish that next goal.
The score on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard, Auburn 20, GICC 19. We'll hear from our sideline reporter Chris Williams after this break on News Channel Nebraska.
When it comes to crop insurance, what matters to you? Experience, timeliness after a claim, accurate estimates on crop loss? Midwest Bank Agency agents Josh Gossman and Michael Keister can provide those services to your farming operation. If it is time to consider a new crop insurance option, call Midwest Bank Agency or check them out at MidwestBank.com today. Midwest Bank Agency, part of Midwest Bank, where service builds relationships.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
Welcome back. 1 point separates these two teams at the half. Auburn leading 20-19. I talked to GICC head coach Tino Martinez about that first half. He said, I'm happy with it, but I feel like we could have done better. He feels like if they cleaned up some things on defense, they could have held this Bulldog team to only 15 points in the first half, just like they did in the district final. Then I asked him, well, Cameron Binder, he had 40 last game. You wanted to focus on stopping him. He had 7 in the first half, and I asked coach, and he said, well, he's another one. I feel like we could have held him to 3 or 4, but I'm sure glad he's not at 20. So you can bet the focus is going to be locking down Binder, and for GICC, they're going to continue running through Jack Gehring. He had 13 in that first half. They're going to keep going, and the battle of number 2 on each team leading the way is just going to continue into the second half. So let's toss it back up to you, Michael, Alex, and let's get the second half started.
As expected, a battle between Gehring and Binder, and 1 point separating these two teams. The Simulation in Motion Nebraska program is just one way that UNMC improves the lives of individuals in all Nebraska communities. Learn about the Sim Nebraska mobile education labs and other ways that UNMC impacts the state's health at unmc.edu/serving Nebraska. Crusader basketball to start the half, just 1 point separating these teams. We're in for another fun 16 minutes.
Absolutely, Michael. A fantastic battle between these two squads. Auburn looked like they were going to start to go on a roll, up by as many as 6 in that first half. GICC able to battle back. Now we'll see who responds in this second half. Pretty much dead even here between the Bulldogs and the Crusaders.
Martinez for 3 to start the half. Too strong. Comes out with some adrenaline from the corner. Martinez, the sophomore, had 4 in the first half. Tries from the other corner, and this time he hits a couple of corner threes. He likes the side next to his bench.
It's an old saying, but if at first you don't succeed, try again. That's exactly what Russ Martinez did there. Long in the first, had another opportunity, and made sure to make that one count, knocking it in for the Crusaders.
I love the confidence he shot that second one with. Fresh off of an air ball from the other side. Confident enough to pull the trigger again, and hits. Jacob Herbeck with a rebound. The senior was quiet in the first half, saddled with foul trouble.
And if you're Auburn offensively, that's the guy you want to attack, is Herbeck. With those 2 fouls, you want to try and keep him off the court as much as you can with that foul trouble.
Here he is one-on-one against Lambert in the lane. It goes for Herbeck, his first basket.
Great turnaround with the one hand for Herbeck over the top of Josh Lambert. The advantage of having a 6'6" center there that can go over the top of the 6'7" Lambert. Great finishing touch for the senior Herbeck.
Binder keeps looking for that three, can't find it. Being smothered by Russ Martinez. He's had to earn his points, driving into the lane for the most part. Lambert gets the response. Battle of the big guys to open the second half.
And a great job there by Lambert, not going up right away, waiting until he had the cleanest look at the basket, a couple of pump fakes before finally going up for the shot. The hesitation shown by the junior, and it paid off.
Martinez once more, not this time. And a foul on the rebound. Kobe Bales, Mr. Hustle for the Crusaders, has been all over the glass today. His 6th rebound, and he draws a foul.
Fantastic job by Bales, crashing the glass for the Crusaders, getting another opportunity offensively for GICC, as now GICC starting to roll a little bit here, starting to feel themselves in the early goings of this third quarter.
Foul was on Brody Darnell, his 3rd. The Crusaders throw away the inbounds pass. Binder lofts it off of the window too strong. It's out of bounds. The Bulldogs will get another try.
That was well defended there by GICC, as Binder didn't have a clean look. We'll see it here on the replay. Had to go up with the right hand, one-handed up against the defense there of Isaac Herbeck. Ball out of bounds, but a great job by the Crusaders, not allowing that clean, easy basket for Binder.
He's just a sophomore. I think he'll work on that delivery, be able to get that one-hander to go in the future. Turnover by the Bulldogs. A couple of bodies hit the deck. Certainly aggressive play between these two Class C1 foes. The lane opens up, but a charge. Whistled against Isaac Herbeck, the freshman, out of control, and Brent Baltzensberger gets in position.
Freshman versus freshman there, the two young guns on these squads, playing some big-time minutes. Herbeck driving right at Baltzensberger, and Baltzensberger, fantastic job getting his feet set, taking the contact from Herbeck, drawing the charge against the young freshman Isaac.
Binder with a little bit of a lane. Collapsed quickly. Auburn throwing it off of GICC defender. That's been their best offense this start of the half. Keeping possession, but just 2 points for the Bulldogs in the first 3 minutes.
Daniel Frary did a great job pursuing the loose ball, making sure that he had a good look to get it back in bounds following that last play. We look there on the replay from our cameraman down low.
Whistle against Herbeck away from the basketball, and that's a big one. Number 3 on Jacob Herbeck, trying to deny the entry to Lambert. He'll have to take another seat in favor of Eli Perney.
3 fouls on Jacob Herbeck, 2 on Isaac Herbeck. As again, the foul trouble starting to rear its ugly head, especially for the Crusaders. Auburn has to take advantage of the fact Herbeck is on the bench and get Lambert some touches down low, and that's exactly what they do.
Right to the big guy. Not on the first try or the second. Works his way up for a third, and he's blocked by Perney. How about the defense from the Crusaders?
Fantastic job by the senior Perney, just not allowing Lambert, even though he had second, even third chance opportunities with the offensive board. Perney was not going to allow a clean look at the hoop for Lambert.
Foul on Hughes on the other end. Eli Perney only scores 2 points per game and grabs 2 boards, but following this team a little bit during the season, he meant more to the team than those numbers indicated, and he's played well today so far.
It's those intangible plays that maybe won't fill up the score sheet, but playing good minutes in relief of Jacob Herbeck in defense. That's exactly what Coach Martinez wants to see.
The player Martinez, 1 for 4 from downtown this half. Jack Gehring hasn't had a shot attempt in the first 4 minutes. Binder hasn't scored. Has to heave that one. He got in trouble near the midcourt line. Martinez not giving him any breathing room, even when the ball's on the other side of the court. In and out. Rebound, Baltzensberger, he's fouled. Hughes couldn't hit, but Baltzensberger, a couple of good plays off the bench this half.
He has been playing some huge minutes here today, has the freshman Brett Baltzensberger getting the offensive board, the putback, drawing the contact. 3rd foul this half now against GICC, the freshman with a chance to make his minutes count here from the line.
Gets the friendly roll. Baltonsperger scores just over 2 per game. Let's get a look at that foul. They called it on 14 in white on Perney. There was contact initially by Bales, and I think if you're Coach Martinez, you would rather have had Bales get called for the foul. Instead, it was Perney, so now Perney and Jacob Herbeck, each with 3 fouls. Perney will be the one that stays on the court.
Auburn's done a great job of tightening the defense up after allowing some early buckets in the start of this third quarter. GICC has not had much in the way of a clean look so far today. It's like Gehring trying to make something happen.
It's his first shot of the half, and it was a contested jumper right into the arms of Daniel Frary. It was the Binder and Gehring show, combining for 20 first half points. And Binder can't hit the layup. Would have been the first basket by either star guard this half.
Great cut there by Binder, but just couldn't finish at the rim. We've seen that a couple of times from Binder here today, where he has those clean lanes, but just can't quite get it to go. You mentioned it earlier, Michael. As a sophomore, he has that time to develop and grow that finishing touch, but just it has not been there so far today.
You have to credit the Crusaders as well. They're not letting it go easy at the rim. They're still contesting shots, even if he beats the first man.
Speaking of giving nothing away easy, Auburn, again, just not allowing any room for GICC to work with right now, switching to more of a man-to-man look defensively, still with a bit of a zone as well.
Foul goes against Hughes, number 3 on him. That puts Gehring at the charity stripe, looking for his first points of the third quarter.
And again, this is where you need to make those opportunities count in this sort of a tight game where opportunities have been coming very few and far between offensively. You need to make these chances at the free throw line go and just try to get anything going that you can. This is the mental thing we've talked about, where you just see the ball go through the hoop. That can really put you in the right frame of mind.
Gets one of the 2, does Gehring. Builds the lead back to 2 for the Crusaders, who led much of the first quarter before Auburn took control and led by as much as 6 in the second quarter. It's been tighter than that the last 7 minutes of game time. Officials tightening up the game as well, as Hughes was taking that to the hole. He's rewarded with a foul call.
A foul going on Jack Gehring. That is his first 4th foul this half on GICC. 3 fouls on Auburn. And the fouls did start to rack up towards the end of that second quarter, but we're already seeing it here in the third.
Baltonsperger to the bench, gets a round of applause from the fans in red. Freshman with some key minutes. Darnell back out there with 3 fouls.
Some great ball movement here by Auburn, who are still looking for Lambert the whole way.
Frary didn't want the jumper. Instead, he takes it to the right side and throws it off of the glass and down.
Nice
8 points for Daniel Frary, leading scorer for Auburn.
Absolutely, the sophomore, the strong take there and got it to go.
Gehring from downtown. Jack Gehring, an enormous 3-pointer, gives the lead back to Grand Island Central Catholic.
That's exactly what the Crusaders were looking for, exactly what Jack Gehring was looking for. A clean opportunity at a triple, pulling the trigger, draining it, putting GICC back in front.
Team that likes to shoot the 3. That's just their 3rd made 3 of the game. 2nd of the half and 2nd for Gehring. %38% of GICC's field goal attempts this season coming from long range.
Again, just nowhere to go for Auburn.
Martinez picks it off and finishes on the other side. Russ Martinez saw the pass coming the whole way and builds the lead up to 5 for GICC.
That's the danger when you pass so much. If you have an active defender like Russ Martinez, able to get in the passing lane like a flash, create the steal, finish at the other end. Fantastic play by Martinez.
Now the double on Lambert. Goes right at it and gets the bucket. Josh Lambert, fearless. 2 defenders, doesn't matter. Back to a 1-possession contest.
Josh Lambert has been battling all game long, finally able to get something to go for the Bulldogs.
Perney kicks it out. The open look, cashed. The three for Peyton Court. The first bench points for the Crusaders come from a swish from the corner.
Quick trigger there by Court, draining another three in the waning seconds of this third quarter. Crusaders fans fired up.
And a foul on a three-point attempt. Cam Binder heaves it up, and that was a smart decision.
Absolutely a rare mental miscue there by Russ Martinez, who's been so good defensively here today, picking up his first foul. Binder got Martinez on skates there, went into the contact and drawing the foul. Huge play by Binder, but again, has to make these chances from the line count, down by 6.
Binder's first point of the half comes with 2 seconds left in the third quarter. Talk about buckling down. Russ Martinez, what a game for him. 9 points, outstanding defense. Binder's not quite as on target as you're used to seeing at the line.
Not as of yet, and I think for Coach Jim Weeks, that's really the one area that he would love to see his team improve, is when you get, they call it the charity stripe for a reason, you get these free opportunities. They're not been able to connect on them here today, and you need to do that in this tightly contested state tournament environment.
Gets 2 out of the 3. And a quick substitution to get Lambert to the bench.
Don't need Lambert picking up a quick foul with only 2 seconds left in the quarter.
The three-quarter court toss comes up short, but was online. After 3 quarters, the score stands GICC 33, Auburn 29 on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. The Simulation in Motion Nebraska program is just one way that UNMC improves the lives of individuals in all Nebraska communities. Learn about the Sim Nebraska mobile education labs and other ways that UNMC impacts the state's health at unmc.edu/Serving Nebraska. The final quarter after this on NCN.
Norfolk Iron and Metal takes great pride in being part of the community of Norfolk, employing over 300 people in Northeast Nebraska. If you're looking to be a part of the Norfolk Iron and Metal family, visit norfolkiron.com and click on the contact link for all open positions. You can be a part of one of the largest and most technologically advanced carbon steel providers in the nation. Make a difference with Norfolk Iron and Metal.
I do love Wayne State College. It feels like home. I don't feel like I'm out of place. It's not too big, it's not too small. Campus is big enough that I'm still meeting new people. I'm still learning about new faces and names, but I'm always seeing people that I can wave and say hi to. It's the best fit for me. When I visited the campus back in my senior year of high school, this is where I knew I wanted to go right away. When I got in that car and I was driving home, I told my parents, this is where I'm going and I don't need to look anywhere else.
Wayne State College. Get started at explorewayneStateCollege.com.
Well, there's the Bulldog. The Auburn mascot needs his dogs to come from behind. A 4-point lead for GICC on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. What does Coach Weeks draw up out of the timeout? A take to the basket and a finish from Daniel Frary, who's been the unsuspecting star of this game for Auburn. Averages 5 per game, and he leads his team with 10.
Absolutely, Frary's starting to heat up, and they need that with Binder a little cold in this second half.
Herbeck, who's barely played the last 2 quarters with foul trouble. They go right down low to him, and he gets to the line after the hack by Lambert.
And credit to Lambert, that only his first foul of this entire game. Lambert has done a great job of avoiding that foul trouble, unlike Herbeck. And now both teams with 5 fouls, rather 5 for GICC, 4 for Auburn as we begin this fourth quarter.
Jacob Herbeck averages 8.5 points per game. If you like his frame and you're a Husker fan, good news. A walk-on defensive end for Scott Frost's team next season. Congrats on getting that walk-on offer to Jacob Herbeck, who goes 1 for 2 at the line. Makes it a 3-point advantage for the Crusaders, who have led by as much as 5 this half.
Herbeck really has that defensive end build, and we've seen that here today, using that size against Lambert. And again, the help defense there by Kobe Bales.
Darnell barely holds on to it, dishes down low, and there he is again. Daniel Frary finds some open space on the left block and finishes.
The sophomore Frary playing well beyond his years here today.
The steal for Darnell, and the finish, and the lead back for the Bulldogs.
The Dogs starting to heat up. The Auburn faithful fired up Auburn back on top after a fantastic defensive play and finish from Brody Darnell. The supporting players really stepping up big time here today for Auburn.
Martinez finds Gehring for three from the wing. Drains it. Jack Gehring, a couple of three-pointers this half. He's up to 20 points. And we flip-flop again. We have a battle in the fourth quarter, folks.
It's been like this all game long, but now the offense is starting to find their stride. Took a little bit of time, but now you're seeing both teams starting to hit their shots, starting to find lanes to the basket. This has been exciting here today.
Binder rattles away after he shot-faked Martinez. Cam Binder with no made field goal this half, stuck at 9 points. The leading scorer typically for Auburn.
And we heard Chris Williams talk to Coach Martinez at halftime saying Binder's the one they were keying in on the whole way.
Missed by Gehring. The tap out to Darnell, who wants to attack again. Takes it to the right side. Good job getting back on defense by GICC, but more hustle from Darnell forces a jump ball. It goes to the Crusaders, but that's a nice play by Darnell.
Absolutely, you'll see it here on the replay. Brody Darnell a little out of control on that shot attempt as he was trying to draw the contact, but able to tie that one up with Kobe Bales there. Possession arrow does favor the Crusaders, but just a great tenacity shown there by Darnell, pursuing the ball after his miss.
This team's playing for the first time this season, but they are familiar with each other. They played in summer ball. No surprise there, Alex. Double overtime in that summer league game. Tapped free. Another play by Frary. Just the 6th turnover for GICC. We've only seen 10 turnovers in this game by my count. Hughes driving inside, absorbs contacts.
And what could be a big thing going forward as well, the fact that that foul by GICC, their 6th, the next will put Auburn in the bonus for the rest of this fourth quarter, which is huge for the Bulldogs as they try to battle with the Crusaders here.
Turnover by the Dogs. And then a foul on Darnell, his 4th. An unfortunate series for Auburn. Gives momentum back to GICC.
Yeah, Darnell now with 4 fouls, as you said, Michael. CJ Hughes with 3. And with how big Darnell has been playing offensively and defensively, that would be a huge loss for the Bulldogs if he would foul out of this game. Coach Weeks sending him to the bench to avoid that. He needs Darnell for the closing stretch of this one.
More big moments for Brett Baltensperger, the freshman. Martinez has come to life this half. Finds Gehring. Elbow jumper. Hit the back iron. Herbeck muscles his way for the rebound. Here's Martinez. In and out. Last touched by Auburn. Frary couldn't control it when out of bounds, and the Crusaders will get a 3rd try this possession.
You're starting to see the battle really heat up down low. Herbeck wrestling away the offensive board. Martinez, though, not able to hit. And again, look at the battle between Lambert and Herbeck and all the other players, as well as Frary just couldn't quite keep it in bounds. Crusaders another chance.
Exactly the look you want from Martinez. Couldn't hit. Martinez, a 35% three-point shooter on the season. About 1 for 5 this half. Gehring's hit his last 2 from long range. Spin move against Lambert. Runs right into him and loses it. Now in transition.
Gehring fearless with the attack as he has been all game long against Lambert, but that time did not go the way for Gehring, was turned away by the big junior for Auburn.
Binder wants the ball. Can he find any room? Doesn't have Martinez on him now. It's Gehring. Underneath the basket, in trouble. And a timeout by Coach Weeks. Auburn will talk about things. The score on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. GICC 37, Auburn 35. More fourth quarter action in a moment.
Early mornings, late nights, emotionally, physically, mentally tougher. Generations of trust, innovation, and hard work done side by side. The decisions you make for your land and livestock have a direct impact on your operation, the region, and the world. That is why we're there when you need us anytime, every time. We both have one chance, one season, one mission. Tougher together. Aurora and you.
Northeast Center for Enterprise, specializing in customized training for businesses. One of the proud sponsors of today's broadcast. Northeast Center for Enterprise, bringing you customized business solutions. Michael Shively and Alex Loroff with you atop the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Chris Williams patrolling the sidelines, and a 2-point game on the courts between number 3 Auburn and number 6 GICC. It hasn't disappointed in the first game of the day.
Absolutely not, Michael. This is what state basketball is all about. Two teams battling head-to-head, blow for blow. We've seen Auburn go on runs, GICC go on runs, but now over halfway through the fourth quarter, which team will be able to put together enough momentum to finish this one out?
What a hustle play by Peyton Court. We've seen the double team all day against Josh Lambert. This time it wasn't shown. It came from behind, and the tie-up courtesy of Court. Stays with the Bulldogs, though.
Court really surprising Lambert there, tying that one up. Fortunate for Auburn that they have the possession.
Just the look you want for Binder, but he's been out of rhythm this whole half. Now Gehring and company setting up, looking to make it a 2-possession lead. Into the lane, and into trouble is Bales. Kicks it out, the 3 for Court. In and out, Herbeck blocked from behind. It's a foul on Lambert, and Herbeck back to the free throw line.
Herbeck able to get the space around Lambert, who slipped up a little bit in the lane as he was trying to pursue the defensive board. Herbeck taking advantage, getting in front of Lambert. You'll see it here on the replay. Lambert losing his footing, Herbeck taking advantage and drawing the foul.
Bounces a few times on the rim and finds the bottom of the nylon for Herbeck. Neither team has been on point from the line. That'll be a key factor in these final 3.5 minutes. Herbeck gets each of the pair.
And now we will see what this young Bulldog squad is made of here. Down by 4, approaching 3 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Really have not gotten much way going of offensive rhythm in the last couple of minutes here in the fourth, especially when it comes to Cam Binder.
Martinez has been all over him. Binder, degree of difficulty 10. Doesn't matter for Cam Binder that time. Hits the 3, and it's a 1-point game. The score on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard is GICC 39, Auburn 38, a 30-second timeout called for. And we'll keep it here and tell you about some defense. Now it's time for the Protect the House defensive play of the game, brought to you by J-Tech Construction. GICC fighting for a loose ball, and it leads to a transition opportunity. This back in the first half. The easy lay-in for Martinez kept the Crusaders in the game. They trailed by 1 at the break, and that was your defensive play of the game. For 50% off window installation and 0 interest financing, contact J-Tech Construction. First time back at the state tournament for the Bulldogs fans since 1985. Second straight trip for GICC. They have the ball up 1 with under 3 minutes to go.
And now the Crusaders will try to respond after a massive 3 on that last possession by Cam Binder, and I would not be surprised if it's Jack Gehring who is going to look to respond himself.
Gehring has 20. Instead, it's a steal by Hughes. In front of Martinez. Finishes at the rim. Defense for C.J. Hughes. Leads to his first basket of the game, and it couldn't be bigger. It gives the lead to the Bulldogs.
What a play by the junior C.J. Hughes, picking the pocket and finishing at the other end.
The pass from Bales to Herbeck. He takes an extra step and a turnover on consecutive possessions for GICC. Swings the momentum to Auburn.
It's a game of runs, folks, and now we're starting to see Auburn come up on their run here in the fourth quarter. The steal and the finish by Hughes and the travel on GICC. The Bulldog fans are absolutely fired up as their team is up by 1 with only about 2 minutes left to go here in the final quarter.
Hughes with the bid basket. Frary. No touches for Binder yet this possession. Lambert sees the double team. Kicks it out, Frary. Frary not a three-point shooter. He's been open a couple times, and it looks like he's considered it.
And again, they're looking down low the entire way for Lambert. Herbeck not allowing that pass to come inside to the big junior, who is still battling down low against Herbeck.
But it all according to plan for Auburn as they have that 1-point lead. They can run clock, and they force the foul. Peyton Court commits it. So a 1-and-1 opportunity for Brody Darnell. The 5', 10-inch sophomore has 4 points today. He's made a living with his defense. What can he do on the front ends? Nothing but nets.
Massive shot there by the sophomore again. With all of the young players on this squad, you need these players to step up in these big moments they have never been in before, and we've seen so many players step up in these situations for the Dogs today.
Darnell hits each of them. 3-point lead for Auburn.
The Auburn fans coming to their feet, trying to cheer on their teams. It's such a stark contrast between the Auburn side of things and the Crusader side.
Gehring, too strong on the three. Rebound for Herbeck, and a timeout called by Coach Tino Martinez when the ball trickled to the corner. And a 3-point lead for Auburn. A timeout by GICC gives us a chance to mention another one of our sponsors, Wayne State College. One of the partners of News Channel Nebraska that's allowed us to come to Lincoln to bring you live state tournament quarterfinal and semifinal action, brought to you by Wayne State College. GICC basketball down 3, 70 seconds remaining. What is Coach Martinez saying in the huddle?
I think if you're Coach Martinez, you want to get Jack Gehring the ball in his hands. He is your big-time player. You need him to make big-time plays. If Gehring has an open look, expect him to take it. But if it's not there, I would expect the ball also for a second option to go down low for Jacob Herbeck. Try to draw a foul against Josh Lambert. Try to get to the line at the very least. I think Gehring will be the top option. But if Herbeck has an opportunity down low, he'll get it down to the big man as well.
GICC exited with a first-round loss last season. They get it right to Bales, then to Herbeck. Tough man-to-man defense from Auburn, not allowing anything easy, and a charge. Brody Darnell, huge second-half minutes, able to draw the foul against Peyton Court. What a job getting in front of him.
Saw it there on the replay. Court on the drive, stuck that right elbow just enough into the chest of Brody Darnell to warrant the charge call from the officials. Momentum fully in the camp of the Auburn Bulldogs right now.
Full court pressure for the first time from GICC. They get the basketball on the ground, and a jump ball gives it to the Crusaders. Coach Martinez hangs his hat on defense, and the full court pressure comes up huge.
What a job by GICC, pursuing the basketball the whole way through, diving for the ball there again. Who else but Kobe Bales coming up with the jump, giving the Crusaders another offensive opportunity here.
Have to heave it to Court in the backcourt. Now Gehring under a minute to play against Binder, star on star. Gets it back for three. Connects. Jack Gehring ties it up at 42 from way downtown.
Jacob Herbeck set the screen to not allow Josh Lambert to get out to Gehring to put a hand in his face. Gehring had the space, took advantage, and knocked it down. That's exactly what I was talking about before. You want your big-time player to make the plays, and Gehring did exactly that.
23 for Gehring. Weeks. Coach Weeks, a legend in high school hoops in Nebraska, elects to let his team play. Cam Binder against Russ Martinez. Binder into the lane, the step back, short. gets another try, it goes! Cam Binder beats the buzzer, and the Auburn Bulldogs win 44-42. The first time at the state tournament since 1985 ends with a buzzer beater winner.
Unbelievable. Binder short on the first, gets the ball back quickly. The trigger pulls it up, knocks it down. What a shot by Cam Binder, the sophomore, the star sophomore on this Bulldog squad. Makes his second opportunity count and sends the Bulldogs to the semifinals. What a finish here, Michael.
Wow. The Auburn Bulldogs advancing to the Class C1 semifinals. Final score on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard, Auburn 44, GICC 42. We'll be back with our player of the game and coach interviews after this.
Anderson of Grand Island, we make it easy. Whether you're looking for a new or used car, parts, service, or collision repair, Anderson Auto Group in Grand Island has you covered. Proud to support the home team and all the local athletes. Best of luck this season. We're proud to be Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
If you're looking for excellent physical therapy or a great place to work out, Husker Rehab in Beatrice is the place to start. At Husker Rehab, they enjoy a friendly, relaxed atmosphere, and they'll help you reach your goals.
At Husker Rehab, we take pain personally, and we're always looking for the best solutions to help you out and have proven results. Hi, this is Ryan Wade, a physical therapist at Husker Rehab in Beatrice. If you have a referral for physical therapy or are looking to get into better shape, we'd love to help you out.
That's Husker Rehab with 2 locations in Lincoln, 1 in Beatrice, and 1 in Fairbury. Call today for more information or learn more at huskerrehab.com.
Escape to Lake Wanahoo NRD recreational area this April. This family-friendly park has many amenities, including a hiking and biking trail, over 100 camper pads and tent sites, fishing and boating, picnic shelters, and new educational opportunities to maintain conservation efforts. Lake Wanahoo will be more community-focused, now more than ever. We're the Lower Platte North Natural Resources District. We're excited for what this spring will bring.
The medical field has rapidly evolved. It used to be one doctor was capable of taking care of everything. But now, over decades, we've become more and more specialized, and that there's literally somebody like myself that's a hand surgeon, and then there's the next person that's a cataract surgeon. And by specializing, we become very good at our specific areas, and it's best for our patients, it's best for our communities to have people that are focused on specific problems. It's not to say that generalists don't serve a great purpose, they do. They're the keystone of medicine, but no longer are we in an era where one doctor is capable of understanding everything from the brain to the toes and from an infant to an elderly. You need people that are specialized, and that's what Faith Regional is transitioning into, is bringing in these specialties, becoming a regional referral center. In order to do that, we need a community that's willing to support this mission, and for us it involves a new medical office building to provide office space for them. Strong faith, healthy future.
Now that's how you start the boys state basketball tournament. A buzzer beater for Auburn. They beat GICC 44-42. Let's take a look at your top plays before we get you to your interviews. Number 3 Bulldogs to state for the first time since 1985. Back-to-back trips for the GICC Crusaders. They lost in the first round last year. Don't want a repeat story at the Bob Devaney Sports Center this time around. A battle of star guards between Gehring and Binder. We start down low, though. It's Kobe Bales with a hustle play. Blocked the first time, tries again and gets the basket. Then Russ Martinez cuts to the hoop. An athletic finish for the sophomore. Double team the whole day. Josh Lambert able to fight through the double team, plus the foul that time around. The 6'7" player gets it right back for the Bulldogs. The junior having a strong first half, finished with 5 points. But Jack Gehring, outstanding this whole game, gets the finish. Binder goes the other way, and it's a 4-point lead for Auburn after 1 quarter. Partly thanks to Daniel Frary. A surprise performance by him, finished with 12 points. Before we head to the half, a 3-pointer by Jack Gehring. Still working down low, the big fella. You can't stop him. Josh Lambert had a big game. At halftime, a 1-point lead is all for Auburn, and the Crusaders start to take control in the third quarter, and they do it largely with defense. This hustle play by a few different white jerseys hitting the deck, and it finds an open Martinez for the lay-in. GICC takes control in the third quarter to lead 33-29. A triple that time by Russ Martinez, 3 of his 9. Now it's Gering's turn. He went off for 3 3-pointers in the second half to keep GICC in control. Lambert working his way back down low, finishes things, had 4 points in the second half. But Darnell with the defense, Brody Darnell. This to tie the game for Auburn. Now Auburn ahead, final seconds, about 15 to go, and it's drilled by Jack Garrick. That was to tie the game. Here's another look at it. 42 seconds exactly remaining. Means Auburn gets one more chance. The first try doesn't go for Cam Binder. The second time, and it's there. Just before the buzzer sounds, Cam Binder gets the win for Auburn with the buzzer beater. The sophomore sends Auburn to the semifinals. And now let's head down to the court. Here's Chris Williams with the winning team.
Welcome back. I have head coach Jim Weeks to my right. On my left, player of the game, Cameron Binder. And Cameron, we're going to start with you. I want you to walk me through what was going through your mind during that last play.
I hope it goes in. If it doesn't, we have plenty of time in overtime. And I pray to God. I just hope that ball went in, and it did second time. So.
And what was the emotion of watching it go through the hoop?
There's so much joy. I still can't believe it happened. I was missing layups all game. I made that shot. It's crazy. Like I can't describe it. I can't describe it.
It was clear their focus was trying to shut you down. They were tight on you all game, no matter where you went. How were you able to just keep at it, keep going, and keep shooting?
Well, we work on it all the time in practice. Just everybody's talking crap to me in practice, trying to get in my head. So I go through that every single day. And last year, people tried to get to me through that. And just this year, I think I've matured a little bit. So. Yep.
Perfect. Well, congratulations. I'll go let you celebrate with your team, and we'll turn over here and talk to our winning head coach from Auburn, Jim Weeks. Yeah. So I heard you in the locker room. Everyone was excited, and you said, "But we're not done." Can you kind of tell me about that message?
Well, at Beatrice, we came here several times, and we raised our standard of expectation. So we're trying to get kids in Auburn to think more than just going to the state tournament. And so. Winning that was a big hurdle for us. So, and we got a lot of young kids, and we got a lot of young kids in the stands. So I think that just helps create some positive energy, and I think it helps our community. I just think it helps, create a movement where you get kids playing more. So that's kind of what we're trying to do.
And I want you to elaborate on that a little bit more, because before the game you were talking about the success of getting to the tournament, first time since 1985, how it really helps to be able to see the success to drive you. Now getting to the semifinals, how much more does that mean?
When people say it's just a game and results don't matter, you tell the banker downtown, you tell the farmer out there, results do matter. That's why they put banners in your gym. That's why they give you trophies. And if you want to get people to buy in, be real successful. And so when you win games, that's your most important job as a coach. People say, well, your most important job is to win games. It's not the only job. So when you're successful, people have a tendency to listen a little better as well.
Okay, and you've obviously had a lot of success coaching, so you've been in this situation before. How do you keep your guys from such a highly emotional win? How do you get them focused again and ready to go in less than 24 hours?
We'll tell them about 3 things they did poorly in that game. We'll rip them a little bit and get on them and sting them a little bit and realize that they didn't invent the game of basketball and they could have got better. We had a turnover on a press break, could have cost us the game. So that's one thing.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll be there tomorrow, and good luck, Coach. Thanks for talking to us. Michael, Alex, let's go back up to you guys.
Well, Alex, I think you can tell why Coach Jim Weeks is a legend. 3 state titles while leading Beatrice, a successful stint with Doane as well. He's not letting his team feel great after this one. He's going right at them, and that's the right message if you're looking to make a deep run in the tournament.
Absolutely. Again, we talked about this during the game. It's one thing to get here, and that was a huge accomplishment for Auburn, but clearly listening to Coach Weeks there, he is already focused on the next game. He's already focused on the semifinal round, whoever it may be against. Again, he talked about it was a big hurdle just to get this state tournament win with this group of kids. They were able to do that here today. They'll have a bigger test tomorrow, but just for now, what a win this was for the Auburn Bulldogs, for the Auburn fans who braved the conditions to come out here today, Michael. Fantastic way to kick off our coverage of Boys State.
Well, that was our Dream It, Do It player that came, Cam Binder, brought to you by Dream It, Do It. Let your skills pay the bills. Check them out at dreamitdoit.com. And Cam Binder finishes with 15 points. That final three, bigger than any shot he's taken in his young career. And thank you so much to Coach Jim Weeks for taking time for our T.O. Haas coach's interview. And that completes the Auburn and GICC coverage. But we're not going away, folks. Stay with us. Wahoo and Boys Town getting set to square off in the other quarterfinal in Class C1. Boys Town and Wahoo getting their warm-up going. And when we come back, we'll talk about some key players for each of these teams and get set for the next one. Auburn heading to the semifinals with a 2-point win over GICC.